if you have a plan for this card and it was solely for the purpose of rebuilding, and I mean you couldn't get a card anywhere else and this was your only option as in the last resort, and you just needed a credit card because you can't get a credit card anywhere else, then I still wouldn't recommend it. All right, y'all. So I recently had someone ask me to do a review of the Destiny Mastercard. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Now I know a lot of my subscribers are obviously following me for credit repair purposes. Some of you may have bad credit, and in order to build your credit, it's not just about getting items removed from your credit report. It's also about adding new credit to your credit report so that you can establish new payment history and build your profile that way. So in order to know your options, obviously, you need someone to kind of tell you what cards are worth it and what's really not. So when this one was brought to my attention, I obviously saw after reading about it that this card is geared towards people with bad to fair credit. It is an unsecured credit card. It does have a pre-approval link, which is great because just in case you are denied, you will not get a hard inquiry on your credit report, thus impacting your credit score. But if you do decide to submit an application, then obviously you are going to get a hard pull. And from the looks of the reviews, it was saying that this card pulls from TransUnion. But if you have this Destiny MasterCard and it's pulled from something else, please feel free to comment below. It does report to all three bureaus, which is always, always, always something that you should look for when you're actively trying to rebuild your credit profile. You want the account to appear on all three credit reports so that you can honestly get the full benefits of using a credit building card. You know, you have three reports and not all companies pull from all three. So it will be to your advantage to get a card that reports to all three bureaus, especially when you're doing right by the card. You can use the card wherever Mastercard is accepted, and yeah, so that's the highlights of the card. Now, as far as benefits go, it offers fraud protection and zero liability protection. If you're approved, you get to choose your card's design. But other than that, there weren't too many bells and whistles to this card. I didn't really see any rewards, you know, any of those things in regards to this card. So, you know, there's that. Now, okay, let's just get into the things that, because with a card that's geared towards people with bad to fair credit, there's got to be a catch. There's got to be something. So, I mean, there were some horrible reviews about this card. I'm not going to lie. I am one that likes to read reviews, and because I like people who keep it real, you know what I mean? And just be honest about something. So from the list of the reviews, this isn't really a card that is highly, would be highly recommended for anybody to use just based off the reviews alone. Whew. Now, the annual fee, it ranges from $59 to $99 for the annual fee. And your annual fee is determined after your credit profile is viewed. So that's why I can't really say which annual fee you will have. But to be honest, I don't like the annual fee. I'm gonna just keep it real. There are other cards that are geared to people with bad to fair good credit that don't have annual fees. So there's that. Then the APR on the card is 24.9%. So in other words, don't carry a balance with this particular card if you decided to get this card. As far as credit limit, from researching, this card starts at a $300 minimum limit. So if you were approved for this card, you would at least have $300, that being the minimum. Now, I looked through the terms and conditions and I saw nowhere where it had information in regards to a credit limit increase. So don't really like that. So it seems like whatever you get with this card, and it isn't a possibility of increasing your credit limit. It didn't look like the card issuer offers credit limit increases, no matter if you make on-time payments or not, just based off what I did not see when I was looking at the terms and conditions. And normally it will say that they're like, if you make a certain amount of payments, you'll be eligible for an increase, but I didn't see that anywhere in this particular card's terms and conditions. So all in all, my thoughts about this card, while it wouldn't be like my first suggestion, especially considering Mission Lane is a card that is geared towards the same type of people with this particular type of credit. And you also have the possibility of having no annual fee. I did a review about the Mission Lane credit card, and I don't have an annual fee with that card. It started me with a $1,000 limit, and then it increased it to $1,500 after about two and a half months of having the card. So, you know, and then other people start off with higher credit limits than that, you know, so, and it also has a pre-qualification link. So this wouldn't be the first card that I would recommend to anybody. And it honestly would be like at the bottom of my recommendation list if I'm being real. But I will say, if you have a plan for this card and it was solely for the purpose of rebuilding, and I mean, you couldn't get a card anywhere else and this was your only option as in the last resort, and you just needed a credit card because you can't get a credit card anywhere else, then I still wouldn't recommend it. I would tell you to go get a secured card that, you know, and work on your credit until you can get a credit card that is better than this one. This just wouldn't be one that I would recommend, you know, but this is a card for people with bad credit. So if you're just, you know, searching and looking for something for bad credit, then obviously this would be one of the cards that pops up, but it's not a card that I would recommend to anyone, even if you are actively trying to rebuild, just based off the annual fee alone. And then just on top of the annual fee, you know, it would immediately come out of your balance. So whatever you're approved for, like if you had $300 was your credit limit that you were offered, and then you had the what was the annual fee range? The $99 annual fee, then that means that your credit limit would be $201 automatically once you activate the card for your starting fee or whatever, startup fee. So this isn't a card that I would recommend, you know. There are so many other options. I would rather you just work on your credit profile, get a secured card, you know, one that will graduate, like Discover It, you know, but no. And if you're looking for an unsecured card, that's for people with bad to fair credit, try Mission Lane. I like the card. I use it for groceries and sometimes gas. And I haven't had any issues with that card, making payments or anything of that matter. So it's a big no for me on this one. This card is a big no. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you just wanted to have a credit card because you don't want to build your profile, then do what you got to do. But I wouldn't recommend it. Nope.